Good afternoon, welcome to our Camnet Evening News. My name is Amazing Katamanda. Let's take a look at the stories making the headlines. UPND accuses DPP of frustrating the fight against corruption. Government investigating 3 more suspected CHOLERA cases in LUSAKA.
The trajectory of the business looks very positive, and it looks like we'll be able to launch the...
She has so much data.
Mom?
Yes, baby?
It says here, global warming and climate change is caused by the pollution from careless activities of human beings.
Wow!
Son, do you know I can turn my phone into a TV remote?
How's that possible?
It's so easy. Check this out.
Be smart, be fast with mega data from Zamtel. Get your 15 GB mobile data for only 100 kwacha, 30 GB mobile data for only 200 kwacha, and your 70 GB LTE data bundle with free Netflix, YouTube, Facebook, and WhatsApp. Visit our Facebook page, website, or service centers countrywide for more information. Zamtel, your digital lifestyle partner.
Thank you for staying with us, and now the news in detail. Mutendere residents have employed members of the public to take the CHOLERA vaccination seriously, especially with the liberation of a case being recorded within the area. In an interview with Camnet News, Catherine Mtale said if left unchecked, the disease may spread to uncontrollable levels.
One case of cholera recorded in Lusaka's Mtendere township involving a 3-year-old has revived the fight against cholera, which has not been recorded for at least 2 years.
That we have admitted to Kalingalinga Clinic a 3-year-old girl with cholera today.
Zambia has been inoculating cholera vaccines with reluctancy from members of the public. And of course, overtaken by the COVID-19 outbreak, the process almost died a natural death. However, residents of Mutendere feel people should take charge of their lives by taking the vaccine, among other preventive measures such as observing high levels of hygiene. The residents were speaking on the sidelines of a donation of chlorine by Famanova at Mutendere Clinic Tuesday.
Taking my vaccines in my health facilities because in taking my vaccines, at least my chances young kala na Korea zankala ko slim. Zekona bantu denangu ti bangaende ko kuma health facilities so that bakankali vaccinated against cholera because cholera is a deadly disease.
Wala waichingira chiso so muntu ujonsa fire asenda anu ulo muti kulinga bulo nangu bwaisa tabumu wiketi talwende na ichingira chalimu.
And Famanova representative John Chinko says the private sector has a huge role to play in fighting disease outbreaks such as cholera, pledging the company's support towards government.
Against bacteria and the viruses that causes diarrhea diseases. It's easy to use and it's widely used. It has a
Meanwhile, Ministry of Health Director of Health Promotions Dr. Abel Cavallo says despite this one case of cholera being recorded, among other 3 suspected being investigated, Zambia has a higher livelihood eliminating cholera by the year 2025.
Our disease security, our public health security is yet again threatened following the confirmation of one case of cholera and 3 other probable cases. It is with sincere appreciation that today we receive a gift from Famanova to immediately control and prevent further spread of cholera and other diarrhea diseases in our vicinity.
On 11th April 2022, a 3-year-old girl of Mtendere was admitted for cholera to Kalingalinga Clinic and is described to be in a stable condition. Blessings Chakwila, Camnet News, Lusaka.
The ruling United Party for National Development UPND in Lusaka province has challenged the Director of Public Prosecution, DPP, Lillian Siuni to resign from her position on moral grounds. Speaking during a press briefing on Monday, LUSAKA UPND LUSAKA Province Chairperson Obvious Mwaliteta accuses the DPP of frustrating government's fight against corruption.
The United Party for National Development Administration, since taking over office, has waged a fight against corruption, which has seen many casualties being those who served under the Patriotic Front administration, although no prominent convictions have been secured so far. And that is another issue that is putting the corruption fight under scrutiny. Last week, the Lusaka Magistrate Court discontinued court proceedings against former Konkola Copper Mines provisional liquidator Melengolungu, who was accused of theft involving 4.4 million kwacha, a matter that raised concerns from sections of society. But in a dramatic turn of event, the Drug Enforcement Commission DEC rearrested Melengolungu. Tuesday, 12 April 2022, during a press briefing in Lusaka, United Party for National Development UPND Lusaka Province Chairman Obvious Mwaliteta challenged the Director of Public Prosecution DPP Lilian Siuni to resign from her position on moral ground for allegedly frustrating government's efforts to fight corruption. Mr. Mwaliteta says all prosecutors at the National Prosecution Authority must be replaced.
Who is Milingo? How important is Milingo to this country? If you DPP do not see anything wrong, in that case your colleagues have seen there's something wrong, let them go ahead and prosecute Milingo. Don't interfere. Don't interfere. Don't interfere. So colleagues, that is our stand as Lusaka Province. We demand that the DPP has to leave. And any other office bearer in the ministries should leave, as long as they are PF cadres or their allegiances still with PF. They should leave, because we told the Zambian people that as a new Dawn government, we committed ourselves to them. We don't want any help from PF. We don't want any help from PF to rule this country. We are capable.
Meanwhile, he has advised the public service workers with allegiance to the former ruling party, the Patriotic Front, to resign on their own.
To get rid of that cartel. We want to get rid of that cartel, because we answerable to Zambian people as new Dawn government. If we are not going to fight this corruption, if we are not going to fight this corruption, if we are going to allow people to frustrate the fight against corruption, which we praised to the Zambian people when we formed government to fight this corruption, then we are doomed. And we are not going to allow anyone to stand our way on this fight of corruption. We are not going to allow that. Stop frustrating HH, let him work. Other people, they are telling us, no, stop telling us about PF. We know what PF has done, so just wait. How can we stop talking about the root cause of our problems?
Patrick Soko, Camnet News in Lusaka.
UPND Secretary General Batuke Imenda has advised politicians to work at ensuring the substance of national peace by contributing towards economic and social growth. Mr. Imenda says the country has several challenges that deserves cooperation from all stakeholders, including political players, if to be overcome.
The United Party for National Development UPND administration has come strong on promoting democracy through the upholding of the rule of law. Since being voted into office on 12th August 2021, the UPND administration has emphasized that it will give room to the police and investigative wings to work independently and that no one will be arrested on political grounds. However, UPND Secretary General Mr. Batuke Imenda says he is of the view that named individuals have embarked on a mission of testing the commitment of the UPND on these pronouncements by taking to various platforms to bring the name of the party and president into disrepute. Mr. Imenda was speaking in Mongo on Tuesday.
In the past, people were used to hearing people like someone in my position as Secretary General giving orders to police, go and arrest that one, go and harass that one, go and do this. If you play with me, you can be fired. That is the kind of life that we were used to seeing in the last 10 years. They cannot believe that this country can run in a manner where a policeman makes an independent decision. So my advice to them is that let peace prevail. There are a lot of issues that are about to be debated. Issues of our economy, social order, governance should be debated freely without evoking violence, without creating unnecessary anxiety in the country, coming out with dangerous, provoking statements. So these people that are now seeing peace for the first time, order for the first time, are behaving in such a way that they behave as if they want to try and see, trying to challenge the authority. Let me sound SG Menda and let me see what's going to happen. So let me call President Hakainde Chilema names and let me see what's going to happen.
Meanwhile, in another development, UPND Deputy National Youth Spokesperson Mr. Phineas Pumulo has dismissed allegations that the party is using government vehicles in the Mongu mayoral by-election campaigns.
It's very clear that at no point have we used government vehicles during these by-elections. In all the words in which we have been going around campaigning,
the party is in Mongu to drum up support for its candidates ahead of the election slated for 14th April 2022. Zipporah Mshala, Camnet News.
Munali Constituency Member of Parliament Mike Mposha has urged the people of Chainda Ward 33 to take advantage of the many opportunities provided in various empowerment programs under the new administration. Speaking during a familiarization tour in Chainda compound, Tuesday, Mr. Mposha stressed that the current Constituency Development Fund, CDF, comes as a relief to community members. Therefore, people must apply themselves in taking part.
During a familiarization tour in Lusaka's Chainda compound, Munali Constituency Member of Parliament Mike Mposha has urged the people of Chainda Ward 33 to actively participate in the development agenda under the current administration. Mr. Mposha has seized this opportunity to sensitize the people on the number of programs that government has embarked on to better the lives of these people.
Pasako next group, mumbesesa. Siri monga zija zamene zakaloba zauti mwenda panyumba muntu mwendo tenga kaloba mbokupoka ni katundu iyebe si kulibe kuonjezerapo kulibe interest. Siri monga ku banki auti mkatenga loan ku banki wakuchajingani interest kulibe interest. Kwa matifuna chirungamo accountability. Sindalama zakuti mkatenga mwagavana mazuro chalira ni ndalama zakuti zitandizire muyangane muchitaka business kama mtundu bwanji tikutandizeni palika jaka business mukapangapo ka profit mubweza kwa every month pangono mpaka ijane muna kongola ya sira business yanu yaenda
boma itiyanganepo kutiti zibe mameti zafunika kumangira tibwelele kumbali ya kliniki yatu tionga zikomo lero isebenza 24 hours koma tikayangana ni ngono
ngatigulireko track tabelenga tandizire kuchosa vinyara mkomboni.
Polisi muno mchainda mwatu ndatafutika maningi na kawalala. Titapa manzi 02 so angatipa ya kawala please.
That this government will look into the plight of the youth. Many youth in Chainda are involved in things that are very destructive like drugs. There are no productive, there are no lots of productive youth in Chainda.
Mr. Mposha, who is also the Minister of Water and Sanitation, has assured the residents of Chainda compound with 5 boreholes to be donated in his capacity so as to improve the water supply in the compound.
Then we'll drill the boreholes and put dotted boreholes. So I want to do about 5 boreholes in Chainda, not only under CDF, but also on my own as Member of Parliament, I undertook.
The Member of Parliament was hosted by the Ward Development Committee and the Area Councillor. The people of Chainda compound were elated at the visit and hope for more frequent engagements with their area Member of Parliament going forward. Alex Shimba, Camnet News, in Lusaka.
The Zambia Environmental Management Agency says the development roadmap for plastic waste management is a step in the right direction towards implementing the cellular economy in Zambia. Zima Director Operations Morrison Songwe notes that the development will contribute to enhancing protection of the environment and human health from plastic pollution.
Changing consumption habits and production patterns, and global waste trade and trafficking. So there is a problem that if we don't do anything about this problem of waste, the rate at which we are generating the waste is far higher than the rate at which we can properly handle it in an environmental safe way. So this workshop that we are having is looking at ways in which we can recycle this waste, we can reuse, we can do something with it so that we can minimize on the waste, especially plastic. So this meeting is part of Zambia's effort to put in place measures for implementing SDG number 12 on responsible consumption and production, which calls on a comprehensive set of actions.
Validating the data as stakeholders, and it's of importance as a country we have a roadmap on circular economy because in circular economy is an issue in Zambia, and it's important to have the right strategy for it and also to have a level playing field so that for all the stakeholders can come in and participate. So the process itself actually it's helping our country in terms of having the right policies and registrations to support the issue also. And also, as I said, it's an important process for us to have to create that enabling environment for all the stakeholders to contribute towards us achieving meeting the goals of the circular economy.
This brings us to the end of our Camnet Media News, but before we go, let's take a look at the headlines once again. UPND accuses DPP of frustrating the fight against corruption. Government investigating 3 more suspected CHOLERA cases in Lusaka. Thank you for joining us on our Camnet Media News. My name is Amazing Katamanda. Good afternoon.